So I watched WWE Raw, the December 2nd, 2024 edition, and I just want to talk about it. Now, let's start with this promo, right? It starts with CM Punk coming out talking, saying, "Hey, I'm back. You know, I know what I want. I know where I'm going." It sounds like he wants, you know, to go for the title. It just sounds like he knows. He's just saying, "I know what I want for the future. I know what my future has in store." Right? And now he has that favor from Paul Heyman that he can just check at any time. And then comes out Seth Rollins, and Seth is like, "I can't stand you. I should have beat the shit out of you when I saw you come here. Fine, sorry about my language." He's like, I should have kicked you. I should have beat you." And then he was like, "I felt so sorry for you after your Hell in a Cell match with Drew. I couldn't even get myself up to kicking your ass." He's like, "And those were all my mistakes." Now, he hates CM Punk, right? Can't stand him. And Punk is like, "I don't care about you. You don't live friend-free in my mind. I know where I'm going. I don't know where you're going, but I know where I'm going. Ain't got nothing to do with you." Right? And that was it for Punk. He was like, whatever. And then Seth was like, "Nah, you are not going to ignore me anymore." And he shoves CM Punk to the mat. And you know Punk is like, "All right, you want to get physical." And so they start getting physical, and thank God it didn't turn into a whole brawl where everybody coming out to separate them. Ugh, so over that in WWE. But no, we got something refreshing instead. We got Jay and Sammy, who had just teamed with Punk, you know, in War Games. I talked about that already. And they come out to separate them. They're like, you gotta chill. Relax, right? And they do get them to separate. And then you have Punk, and he's on the floor, and you know, officials now are coming out to separate them, but it's not a brawl. And then Seth gets on the mic and says, "Oh yeah, go ahead, Punk, walk away." And then says to Jay, because Jay's the one who separated Punk from Seth, and he's walking away with Punk. He's trying to get this thing settled, de-escalated. But then Seth decides to say out of the side of his mouth, "Oh, you go ahead, Jay, go back to Roman Reigns." I was like, ooh. But then it gets better. Now, I'm going to do a little side note right here, okay? The reason this whole promo was amazing was because it felt like a conversation. It felt like a private conversation. This conversation could have happened in the privacy of Seth's house, of Sammy's house. It could have happened in both of their homes. It could have happened in an office. It could have happened in any room, in any private room. And this conversation would have been the exact same conversation as they did in front of the whole world. That is what it feels like for it not to be scripted. Not to be scripted. End of side note. Anyway, right? I left off where you know, Seth decided to talk out of his mouth. Sammy gets the mic and says, "I get you're angry, but you don't have any right disrespecting Jay." Let me tell you, this promo, I don't know where WWE has decided to go. I do know Triple H and all. But damn, the visceral words that are being said in WWE Raw. I'm not talking about SmackDown. SmackDown is different. That's different. But on Raw, let me tell you, hard truths came out in this promo. There were some more hard truths that weren't real, but I'm gonna talk about that later. But in this promo, there were some hard truths being dropped left and right. First of all, Seth was like to Sammy, "You betrayed me. You know how much I hate that motherfucker. Mind my French. You know how much I hate CM Punk, and yet you still decided to team with him." And Sammy comes back with the receipts. He's like, "Nah, bruh. You can't come at me like that. I came for you. I asked you 2 times. I wanted to be with you, not him. I had no choice in the matter. I didn't want to get killed at War Games, so I did what I had to do." Okay? Because let me tell you, this is all about CM Punk. This all started because Seth hates CM Punk. But they just kept going deeper, man. They went beyond Punk. Okay? Because at first, you know, let's keep going. Seth is like, "What's your excuse? Jay is Roman's family. You ain't got no business being there. You ain't got nothing to do with those people." Right? And then Sammy is like, what are you talking about? You created Roman Reigns. You created him 10 years ago when you hit him in the back with a chair. I told you we were getting deep. And then Seth came back and said, yes, I know what I did. I took accountability for what I did. He said, but you went and you joined the man who hasn't changed. True story. Roman has never changed. I don't care how much Solo is a jerk. Doesn't mean what Roman did. It doesn't make that any less terrible. I don't care. I said what I said. Roman hasn't changed. I agree with Seth in this essence. He hasn't. And I pointed it out two or 3 weeks ago when Sammy asked Roman to say sorry to Jay, and there was never an apology said, and he still joined his team. I said it then, and I said it now. He hasn't changed, okay? Anyway, so Seth is saying what I'm saying. He's like, he hasn't changed. He never apologized to you. He's never apologized to Jay. He will never change. And he was like, I was not going to go and get that man and be on his team to give him power. I made my mistakes with him, but that's it, right? Let me tell you. And then, let me tell you the drama. And then, Seth says to Sammy that the problem here is not me. It's not me being stubborn. Yeah, I shouldn't have said to Jay what I said to Jay. But the problem here is not me. It's you, Sammy. It's you. It's because of your naivety. It's because of your gullibility. And then he said, and I quote, it's because of your stupidity. I was like, oh my God. Mind you, I feel like Kevin Owens had this exact conversation with Sammy when he was trying to join the bloodline in the first place. But anyway, just another side note. And Sammy got upset. He got into his feelings, because I'm telling you, these words were fighting words that both men said to each other, but they had to be said. It was like a purge of feelings here. Okay? This is how you communicate with someone when you're angry. Don't get me wrong. You don't go and fight afterwards. You have a conversation and then you figure out a resolution that isn't fighting. But in wrestling, how do we resolve things in wrestling? By wrestling. And so Sammy gets upset. And he says, you know what? You got a lot to say, and you're very angry, Seth. You want to go with someone? Then fine. Go against me tonight. And that's it. And that's the main event. Well, I'm going to tell you what happens to then. But anyway, that's how we started the show, y'all. And it's not even over. This was just the beginning promo. It's not even over. Hopefully, I got everything in there. But I love this promo, and I already said why. Thank God for things not being unscripted anymore. Thank God for things being unscripted in WWE. I'm sorry. Because scripted, terrible. Unscripted, better. Much better. All right. Anyway, after this, we saw Io versus Damage Control versus Liv and Raquel. Before I even get here, though, let's talk about Judgment Day, right? Let's talk about Judgment Day. I don't know where they're going. Like, I had done a video with them, and I said it could go either way. They could break up, or they could stay together. It'll go either way. Regardless, they all have titles, and they keep getting TV time, even though they barely defend them. But this just got really, really interesting. Because Finn, who's always like, oh, there's no leaders in the Judgment Day. There's no leaders in the Judgment Day. Guess what he said to everybody? He said, if everybody listened to me, things would get done. What? Even Liv was like, what the hell? Mind you, Liv knows. She could tell things are changing. Liv understands what's going on, right? Because she was like, what the hell is he talking about? Anyway, so Finn is here, tooting his horn and all this stuff. Because Liv told him, they had all agreed to leave Damian Priest alone. But, Finn is like, that's not how it works. And if your man had handled his situation, Tom, then Priest wouldn't be after the title. As soon as your man couldn't handle it, I handled the situation, Liv. And if everybody listens to me, Liv, everything will be great. That's what he said. That is what he said to her. And you know what's even interesting? Once the whole conversation was over and Finn left, everybody in the Judgment Day separated. Nobody thought to have a whole conversation. Dom had to go because he had something to do with Finn, I guess. And then Raquel and Liv had to go to their match. And then JD McDonough had to go somewhere else. When I tell you the expansion, and I was like, damn. I'm like, this is what happens when you don't have a leader, huh? Anyway, this is part 1. I'll get to part 2.